Alright, starting with a sign, not a good sign. I told myself I wasn't going to make this video. I told myself to leave it alone, doesn't matter, in 2 weeks it's going to be forgotten. But oh my gosh, I just can't. This is worth talking about. This is frustrating. This is annoying. This is so many things. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Some of you might know what I'm talking about. I'm going to try my best to summarize it, but I am pretty heated right now. Like, it doesn't, I can't understand. At the end of the day, this is just a game, but the length some people will go to get an advantage in the game just baffles me completely. And then the failure to take responsibility for their own actions and instead blaming the company, blaming Social Point. No, it's so wrong. Okay, so let me try to start at step one or the beginning. I don't know what I'm saying. What happened essentially? What's going on? And I'm not gonna give any specific names. I'm not gonna go after a specific team or teams because there's so much information floating out there that eventually you'll find out or not. I don't know. So basically, what happened in the simplest sense is that there was an exploit in the game. There was a way to get essentially a lot of gems for very, 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 very little amounts of money. Very, very, very little amounts of money. I need to emphasize that. For example, normally when the gems vase is on sale, 1,700 gems, how much does it cost? $50, right? It's a good chunk of change. Guess how much some people were paying for these gems? Just take a moment to guess. You're not gonna be able to guess it. They were able to get that amount of gems for 5 cents. 5 little cents. $50, 5 cents. Huge difference. Huge, 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 huge difference. If you were to normally spend $50, well, guess what? Now they only cost 5 cents. I was thinking 50 cents. 5 cents, right? 5 cents. How insane is that? With $1, you could buy 20 of those bases, which would normally cost 20 times 50. What is it? $1,000? For $1, you get the equivalent to $1,000. This means that if you were a player that has spent their whole career playing Monster Legends, investing in relics, investing in runes, investing in ranking up monsters, a new player could probably spend like $10 and just outpace you. Like, it's ridiculous. It's insane. Now here's the thing. That's the main thing you need to know. Hence the the name of the video title name. Like 5 cents for 1,700 gems. Okay, that's where we start. Some people were abusing this. Some people knew about it, and I don't really want to get into the details of how it's done or anything. I mean, it's all done with, but essentially, there's a lot going on right now. So the people that did this, unfortunately, they were able to gift gems to friends, teammates, whatever via Facebook. And so the thing is, if you were one of those individuals that received gems from someone that was buying them at a ridiculously low price, what ended up happening now that Social Point caught on is that they reverted the account like 2 weeks back, a week back, I don't know, maybe all the way to February 22nd. It varies from player to player from what I've been talking to different people. So here's the thing. If you were a player that purchased gems and gifted it to a random friend as a gesture of goodwill, I mean, you gave your friend 5 pennies. Good job, right? Like, now that player's profile, it got sent back. And we've had amazing events. We had the 72-hour challenge, we had Nemesis cells, which means if during that time a player got runes, relics, Kihaku rank 2, 3 rank 1 Kihakus, if they got Nemesis cells, that's all gone. That's all completely gone. And it's not the fault of the player, the innocent player, it's the fault of the person that gifted the gems. Now here's the thing. There's a huge debate over, oh, that's not fair, Social Point shouldn't have done that. Social Point should have like maybe gone case by case, but I don't know how easy that is to do. Now here's the thing with gifting, in my opinion. How do you really verify whether or not someone knew they were receiving? For example, if player A buys the gems for himself and player B buys the gems for themselves, and then Social Point is like, well, you bought gems for yourself, let's revert your account. Okay, nice. But what if a simple like walk around to that is player A buys gems and gifts them to player B, and player B does the same. They gift gems to player A. Now both players can just say, no, I had nothing to do with it, I was gifted the gems. Like, it's too easy, which is why I see why Social Point had to put all of the accounts back. And it's frustrating because there 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 appears to be a lot of innocent players that got affected by that. But I mean, I can get into more. Oh gosh, I don't need. Sorry, like this video's it's gonna be an edit. It's just gonna be what it is. Um, what was I saying? The innocence, right? If that happened and walking like oh gosh, it just sucks. I'm sorry. All right, let's try to take it a step back. So, what players I imagine want is for Social Point to somehow not affect those innocent players, to somehow not revert their accounts. And like I said, I don't think it's that easy. What, in my personal opinion, what I believe should be done is that those individuals that decided to spend those 5 cents on those 1700 gems and gift them to players or for themselves or for their teammates, those are the players that should pay for it, not Social Point. A lot of people like to blame Social Point, and this has always baffled me. This always annoys me. It's like, do we not have any personal responsibility anymore? Because something is up for the grabbing and you grab it, it's suddenly the other person's fault for like letting that object be there. Like I don't know if I can come up with a good analogy. Um it's like if someone takes someone's phone and then you say, "Oh, it's your fault for not protecting your phone enough." No, like you played a part. It was your action. You went for the phone, whatever. Like you stole. Like I don't know. In my head, it's so easy. I just can't. I can't demonstrate it in words right now. But what I'm trying to get at is that for some reason, every time something goes wrong, every time there's an exploit, a glitch, the Uriel's double essence glitch, right? Oh, it's Social Point's fault for making two Uriel's essence, so we're gonna abuse this. Or you could not abuse it. You could do the morally right thing, and I know you can argue whether it's right or wrong, but I mean, as a consensus, if we agree, hey, that's kind of cheating, maybe you shouldn't do that. Oh, it's not cheating, it's Social Point's fault. Oh, really? Social Point went into your account. They hacked your account and they put a monster that can hold two essences and two Uriel's essences specifically. They put it on the monster and they put it for defense. Social Point did that. Yeah. It's Social Point's fault. Like how? Like that makes no sense. Where is the personal responsibility? You make a decision to do or not do something. And going on with that fact of making the decision, a lot of people that I talked to that have that did this, right? They like to use the defense of, oh, you've exploited glitches in the past. The 150 level 6 runes. You exploited that. The Sawi glitch. Oh, that's a perfect example. The Sawi glitch. That's one that I felt the need. As soon as I found out about it, I had to make it public to everyone. And if you watch that video, you'll hear me say this exact words, I think. You'll hear me say something along not exact, something along the lines of abuse this glitch, but if Social Point was to take action, you have to be responsible because you're choosing to use the glitch. It's not their fault that I mean, it is like right, and that's the thing. You always like to nitpick. Technically, of course, it's their fault. It's their fault that they made the game that it even exists in the first place. So yeah, it's in a logical scheme kind of things. It is their fault, but it's not because you're the as an individual you got to choose whether or not to abuse the Sawi glitch, and I'll be the first to admit that I abused it. I don't have any problem saying that. In my own video, I'm like, just own up to it. But if something does happen, if they take action, you have to be willing to accept whatever responsibility, or you have to be willing to accept the consequences. I don't know why that's so difficult for people. It's not like, oh, Social Point made a mistake, now they have to pay for it. No, that's not how it should work. Personal responsibility. But now going back to this, a lot of people like to defend it by saying it's like the Sawi glitch. No, it is not like the Sawi glitch. You think just because it has a glitch in the name that they're on the same level? There's different levels. How is paying 5 cents for 1700 gems equivalent to paying $20 for 150 level 6 rooms? Or not, ignore that. How is paying 5 cents for 1700 gems equivalent to getting a legendary monster for 150 gems? They are not on the same level. How hard is that to understand? If there was a glitch where you can get a free Treezard and you took advantage of it for fun, are you suddenly like a cheater now? Like, come on. Like, obviously, again, in the logical sense, if you exploit a glitch, sure, whatever, you're abusing a glitch. But there's levels to the kind of glitch you abuse. Imagine there was a glitch that I found out about where I can get every Nemesis monster 130. And I kept that to myself. And then I used it. Like, I'm pretty sure most people would look down on that because I kept it to myself and that gave me a huge advantage over players that spent the money and the resources and everything. there's levels to glitches. It's not just because you have glitch on the name, it's the same level. Like, what kind of ridiculous thinking is that? I really don't understand. And I remember when I made that Sawi glitch video, I remember a lot of players saying, remove this video because they're gonna patch it. Remove this. I remember actually the day I released it, and actually I don't know if you know this, but I removed it. I released it. I removed it. I released it. A player, an elite quote unquote elite player, immediately messaged me. He's like, "Hey, take that video down. I've known about this for months. Other elite players have known about this for months, and we've been using it." And I'm like, how is that fair? You've been getting legendaries for 150. Meanwhile, all of your fellow comrades, and I say comrades because everyone forgets that at the end of the day, we are all part of the Monster Legends community. We're all players. So I know we have individual teams, but it doesn't matter. We're all under the grand scheme of Monster Legends. We're all a community. So you're getting an advantage over your fellow players, and you feel good about yourself because you get an advantage. Okay, you beat them in war, whatever, but because you cut corners, that makes you feel good. What? How sad is your life that you get some sort of satisfaction in the game from being able to do something like that? It really is sad to me. But this is why, in my personal opinion, glitches, honestly, sure, like if you want to abuse it, again, it depends on the severity, right? Like I told myself I would never release a glitch that can get someone free VIP monsters. Why? Because some players actually have to pay for those VIP monsters. But I had no problem. I'll have no problem releasing a glitch that's available to everyone, where it's like you can get a legendary for 150. Like as long as it's available for everyone, it's fine. And then the glitch should be patched. It really should. Like that's how you get That's evil. That's how you get a fair playing field. But going back to this thing of comparing it to the Sawi glitch and thinking we're on the same level. Well, if you're gonna call me a cheater for paying 5 cents for 1,700 gems, you're a cheater for buying a legendary monster for 150 gems. Like, how idiotic is that? How idiotic is that? Like, really think about it. Hackers, if you were to hack gems into your account, right, you get 909,099 gems, whatever. You get a bunch of gems, and you pay no money. You use some third-party tool, some hack tool, whatever. How is this really any different? Because you paid money? Barely? Because you paid 5 cents? Pay $1, and like I said, how many gems do you get? $1 gets you 20. 20 times 17, 34. Add 3 zeros. What, 34,000? Did I calculate that wrong? Maybe 34,000. I think 34,000. 34,000 gems for $1? Like, really? And it's technically okay because you paid for it? It's okay because Social Point made a pricing mistake in the exchange rate? Like, how does that make any sense? So you're a hacker because you don't pay any money, but if you pay even just 1 penny, it's all good. It's their fault. It's their pricing error. We can take advantage of it. And I know there's laws like where if the price is stated, that's what you have to pay. But I'm pretty sure there's also exceptions to where like a $50 price to a 5-cent price, that damages the business, that damages the community. It's just not good. It's bad ethics. It's bad morality. I don't get it. And again, I'm sorry. I need to vent, and you can hopefully, I don't know if you're listening or not. What else do I want to say? There was a post on Facebook about a team that was fighting another team, and when they were fighting, like, it was supposed to be, I guess, a pretty fair match. And then by like the next day, that team they were fighting had like level 9 to 10 runes suddenly. They had monsters they didn't have before. And it's like, how does that happen overnight? The whole team? That doesn't just happen overnight. And they went from being in the top 100 MP to top 30 MP overnight. How does that happen? Oh, because one player decided they would gift gift gems to all of their teammates. And then everyone could do whatever the heck they wanted now. They could buy the legendary epics chest, right? They could buy as many as they wanted, maybe get some rank 4 monsters. They could just rank up whatever monster they wanted. It just became so easy. And like, this is part of the reason why they have to take away the Nemesis cells and all of that, because then people that abuse this or that got the gems and then purchased the chest, they could just gamble away on legendary chests, get that rank 4, and then speed up the hatchery, and then beat the Nemesis dungeons on extreme super easily, get level 10 runes, like, not even a problem. And it's just saddens me so much. I would consider it's not the same as hacking, honestly, because you do pay. I'll bite 1 penny, okay, But come on, it's basically the equivalent. Just because you took advantage of that kind of exploit, you have to understand there's a difference between the kind of exploits that can and should be abused. The double Uriel's essence thing, I honestly thought that was cheating. I'm sure I made a video on that too, where it's just like, come on, guys, that's not fair. You're you're not even like cheating Social Point. You're cheating your fellow players, your teammates, your Monster Legends community. That's sad. That is so sad. And what bothers me about that post, where the team ended up fighting players where everyone had new monsters and level 9 to 10 runes, like, did no one in that team of 30 members have the ethical standards or morality to stand up and say, hey, this isn't right? Why did I just get 1,000,000 gems for free? Maybe I should tell Social Point. Well, actually, I don't know if they did or not. I don't know how everything kind of unfolded. I don't know if a player did speak up, but like, to read a post like that, did no one in that team think to say, this isn't right? Because that would be my first inclination. If someone gave me a random 1,700 gems, I don't even know if you can tell who gave it to you. I hope you can, but I'd be like, wait, why? This is weird. Why are you giving me so many gems? Oh, just use them to make our team better? Oh, you want to be top 10? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Like, what? Oh my gosh, this bothers me so much, and it shouldn't. It's a game, but God, I love this game so much, and to know that people are abusing this kind of thing, it's so frustrating. But really, the innocent people that get affected, that's what it comes down to. Okay, in my personal opinion, what I think should happen, and again, I'm not blaming Social Point. It's like, let me give you another terrible analogy. Blaming Social Point would be like if you had a parent and the parent buys a cell phone for their child, going back to the cell phone, and the child takes the cell phone to school, and then you have this bully over here, this other kid, takes the kid's cell phone, just to tease and everything, accidentally breaks it, purposely breaks it, doesn't matter. Point is, parents gave cell phone to kid took it to school, another kid at school grabs the phone, accidentally breaks it, or whatever, just breaks it. It'd be like that kid that broke the phone going to the parents and saying, you're at fault. Why? Because you bought your child a phone. Like, logically speaking, yeah, of course, that's sound. If the phone never existed, it would have never gotten broken. But that's so ridiculous, because you need to take personal responsibility, because you grabbed the phone and amongst teasing the child, you broke it. It doesn't. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. I hope you guys understood. I know that maybe wasn't the best analogy, but I honestly, sincerely believe Social Point isn't fully to blame. Again, just the mere existence of Social Point, logically speaking, of course, just because they let it happen, of course. But the real people to blame, in my personal opinion, are the individuals that willingly went out and got that many gems for their teammates, for random members, for their friends. Okay, in my Cell Week video, I said, if you abuse a glitch, you must be prepared to reap the consequences. Well, what happened here? That individual that got gems and gave it to innocent players that didn't know what was going on, or maybe they told them, oh, you're gonna get some free gems from me, and they're like, cool, all right. The innocent players, in my opinion, they're innocent, right? It's not fair. They lose their Kihaku, their Nemesis cells. What I think should happen, hopefully, and it won't, but this is what I feel should happen. Again, you shouldn't blame Social Point. Social Point reverted the accounts. What should happen, going back to reaping the consequences, going back to taking personal responsibility, is that individuals, as many as there are, if they thought they could get away, if they thought they could be slick with paying 5 cents for 1,700 gems and doing a lot of those purchases and giving them away to a bunch of players, if they thought they could get away with that, first of all, it's ridiculous, come on. But if they thought they'd be slick, they'd be cool, they'd be everyone's favorite, okay, you took that risk. Now what you should do, because you know who you gifted those gems to, you should contact every innocent player that you gifted cells to, that you gifted gems to, my bad. You should contact every innocent player and you should pay them back for everything they lost. They lost a rank 2 Kihaku, they lost Nemesis cells, alright, now why don't you transfer money? Since you were so willing to give them gems, why don't you give them money to buy that rank 2 Kihaku back, to buy those Nemesis cells? Why not, right? Don't blame Social Point. it's not their fault. You're the one that went out and it's like, okay, let me throw some pennies at you. All right, now what's the consequences? That innocent player, that person you call your friend, they lost their account stuff. Like, that's so not fair. So since you wanted to play that cool guy that gave him free gems, now why don't you go and help your so-called friend? That's all I have to say.